Hi everybody, this is Dom and welcome to Raising the Barber. Before we start, please subscribe and hit the button so we make sure that you don't lose anything of it. Today I'm happy to have Ed Spurr, the owner of Ilex Studio. Ed's journey began in the Matthew Max Gallery in New York, where he was inspired by Ellsworth Kelly's plants drawings. With a passion for nature and sustainability, Ed has decided to create these stunning single branch vases, which everybody has at least seen once. Don't forget to like the video, stick with us and let's go.
Yo, listen to this, it's Raising the Barber, hot dip, talk shop, no ribbon.
How are you today?
Very good. Yep.
That's great.
The sun is out finally.
Sun, yeah. Finally.
6 months that we haven't seen the
It's been
sun.
too long. What do we do today?
Well, yeah, just working, getting ready for our next event. We're going to be at the Chelsea Flower Show next month, which is a big event in London. And yeah, they say it'll be 130,000 people. So we're excited. It's going to be our first time taking part.
Oh, it's your first time there?
Yeah.
That's great.
So we're building like mega stand, and yeah, just hopefully it'll be. Well, there's a competition. I really want to win the competition. Yeah.
How do you access to the Chelsea Flower Show?
Well, there's you have to send a request with the architectural drawing of your stand, and then they accept you. There's a competition, and you get accepted or not. So, but yeah, it's a very long process. What is that?
I can imagine. So we're going to be always doing like a scissor cut on the sides, natural at the back,
Yeah.
and be off the top, yeah?
Yeah, like last time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Last time he did my hair, I went to Rome.
Oh yeah.
And I met a famous fashion stylist.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like obsessed with my haircut. He kept taking photographs of the back of my head. And he was like, who did this haircut? Like, it was a bit embarrassing because he kept following her around, taking pictures of the back of my head and my ears but it was
This will be a bit shocking.
Yeah.
What's the person? What's the name?
His name is James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it an Italian artist or is it?
He's an Italian stylist, but he works in New York.
Yeah. That's great. Everybody's. You were doing an expo in Rome or something?
Yeah, I was in Milan.
All right.
I did a trade fair in Milan, and then I did a trade fair in Paris, and then Frankfurt, and then New York. So it was a month on the road doing trade fairs.
My God, have you been to the last fair in Milan?
Yeah, I was there last week. We went to Salone del Mobile. We had a big stand there. It was an incredible experience. Like all the big design companies are there. They have these huge stands that like the size of football pitches. And we had a very nice looking stand. And today we were featured in El Decor Italia. So
Wow.
it was, yeah, so they liked our stand.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And just to remind people what you do, what's your business
So
about?
my business is called Ilex Studio, and we're a design company. So we design all items and projects to get people to think about nature in a new way. So our first product is the Acorn vase. So it's a vase that you put an acorn in the top, fill the vase with water, and it grows an oak tree on your desk.
Wow.
So it's designed as like, what would be the best gift you could give someone, and that's an oak tree that they can then watch grow slowly and then plant for future generations.
What's the goal? You say future generations.
Yeah.
Do you believe that this is going to help people to grow more trees?
Well, it definitely, we grow the ones that we plant in the vases and we plant them out, but also develops a greater appreciation for trees. Because if you're growing something from a seed and you see it grow up slowly on your desk over a year, next time you're in the park, you see a beautiful oak tree, you've got a much deeper connection with the oak tree.
Oh.
Yeah. And we also have a vase that you can grow avocado seeds into trees as well in the same way.
Must be big through Aussies and Kiwis.
Yeah. Exactly. But the thing is like you can grow a tree or a plant just from a seed that you find on your everyday. So walk in the park, you can find an acorn, or you have a lunch and you can grow an avocado.
That's
From it.
amazing.
So rather than getting a plant that's imported from another country and uses chemicals and pesticides, you can just grow something that otherwise would be waste and thrown away.
And why the idea of growing a plant? Why a plant? What's your background? What have you done to reach to get to this idea?
Well, I've always loved plants and trees, but before starting the studio, I used to work as director in art galleries. So I worked in Rome, and I worked in New York and in London. And when I worked in New York, I worked with an artist called Ellsworth Kelly, and he used to do these beautiful drawings of plants. So he'd just draw the outlines, never removing the pen or the pencil from the paper. It's something that I always really liked. And he had a retrospective at the Museum of Modern Art, at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And afterwards we did a dinner, and we got every single species of the plants that were in the show and put them in just little shot glasses of water. So on each table there were 40 different types of leaves. So from there it kind of created this sensitivity to it, and I want to just find this like kind of minimal way to kind of display this beauty of nature, which is, I think, the leaves of trees and how they really show the identity of the plant, because each oak tree has like different kinds of leaves. They're like kind of fingerprints of the individuality of the tree. So one oak tree's leaves will be different from its parent trees because like we're different from our parents as well. But so I designed it as a gift for the artists that I work for in the gallery for a Christmas present, and then from there it kind of took off, and there was a competition in The Guardian for like new ideas, and I won that competition, and so I started a company from there. Yeah.
Is the shape of the vase the same? You can like do it tailor-made?
Yeah, so the shape of the vase is always the same. So the idea is that it keeps the seed dry and the roots wet, and it magnifies the roots. But the main thing is that it's got a very tight neck, so it keeps microorganisms like algae and dust out, and the water stays clean inside. So you don't really have to do anything.
So the seed
to
itself
is
the protection from the roots?
Yeah.
Okay.
The vase. So not only is it trying to make it as beautiful as possible, it's a very, very functional object as well.
It's beautiful. Have you had any, like, you said you've been to New York, right?
Yeah.
Have you lived in New York, or have you lived anywhere else but England?
Well, I lived in Rome, and then I lived in New York as well.
How was New York like?
Well, it was amazing, and I worked in an incredible gallery with some of the most famous artists, and it really was. I learned so many things and met so many interesting people. It was a great time of my
For how long?
my life. For 8 years.
Oh, 8 years, a lot. Remind me where you're from?
I'm from here, from London.
Oh, you're from London?
Yeah.
So you're a Londoner who moved abroad?
Yeah.
Usually people move in London.
Yeah.
And then now you're back here?
I'm back, yeah, I've been back.
Since when?
7 years.
7 years now. Wow. How many things in 7 years have changed?
Well, yeah, lots of things. Yeah. Well, I started my own company, made lots of changes for me. So I had to move from one thing to a whole new, from the art world to design world, and it's been a great journey.
Have you had any help from any artists to create the vase, or like to build up this idea and thought in general?
No help from anyone else.
Wow, that's great.
We've done it ourselves. We do like to collaborate with artists.
Okay.
Last week was Earth Day, and we made a special collaboration with a young artist here in London called Daisy Dodd Noble, and so she moved to London at the same time as I did, and she started painting trees and made these amazing tree paintings. And so we invited her for Earth Day. We promoted her work by putting it on with our products for this month coming up. And it's been like a really, really great response.
So you say you were living in Italy?
Yeah, a Roma, vivo a Roma.
A Roma?
Sì, parlo anche italiano.
Non si guarda, parli meglio di molte persone che conosco.
Sì. Hai visto la partita ieri? Roma-Napoli?
Senti, è stato un bello... Cioè, se andiamo in bello vedo già faccio più, non ce la faccio più. Non si può. Quindi a chi tifavi tu?
Beh, tu hai le forbici in mano, ma sì, ho avuto quando vivevo a Roma avevo come si dice, il biglietto, l'abbonamento alla curva sud, e allora andavo tutte le partite della Roma. Sì.
Allora, romano
Sì.
d'adozione.
Sì.
Che bello. Quindi, quanto tempo sei stato in Italia?
4 anni.
4 anni.
Sì.
È scioccante come il tuo italiano sia così buono, cioè, davvero, sembra tanto che... I'm gonna say this in English.
Yeah.
Many English people complain about they can't really learn a language,
Yeah.
and then you walk in, you speak a perfect Italian.
Thank you.
We like, how long have you lived there? You said
4 years.
4 years. That's pretty, honestly, impressive. I would say
Thanks.
it's very difficult as a language. Quindi hai fatto Roma. Bello. Ti sei spostato pure oppure hai vissuto solamente lì? Cioè, nel senso,
No,
hai fatto
solo Roma.
esperienze?
No, ma viaggiavo tanto
Sì.
in Italia.
E quanto tempo... no, ti volevo chiedere, scusami. Il vivere a Roma
Sì,
ti ha cambiato? In
sì,
un certo senso?
certamente sì. Beh, ho imparato tante cose. Era una bellissima città da vivere. Il ritmo della vita, tutte le cose buone che ho mangiato. Ho fatto tanti grandi amicizie.
Ci sono ancora oggi questi amici?
Sì, sì, ma era perfetto. Avevo 20 anni quando vivevo lì, allora
quindi...
buon tempo per vivere
immagino.
in una città.
Bellissimo. E ci ritorneresti?
Sì, fra qualche anno vorrei tornare
Ah, sì.
a vivere.
Viverci in città oppure magari consideri qualcosina di diverso?
Non lo so, mi piacerebbe vivere nel centro di nuovo.
Trastevere?
Sì. No, penso Trastevere c'è troppa gente adesso.
Ha ragione.
Forse un po' fuori del centro, ma vivevo prima a Trastevere, era molto bello. Purtroppo adesso con Instagram e queste altre cose penso che tutti i posti segreti sono stati scoperti e vedi un ristorante che aveva 3 tavole con queste file enormi fuori, tutti che vogliono mangiare lì,
Provare
farsi la foto lì. Allora, comunque la cosa bella dell'Italia è che ogni villaggio, ogni città c'è una cosa speciale, bella lì, genuina da trovare.
Questo è vero, questo è vero. Quanto difficile è stato per te, se lo è stato, integrarsi in Italia da straniero, ok? Perché,
Sì.
perché sei andato a Roma intanto? What's the reason why you were in Rome?
I went to study Italian. I was studying at university, Italian and history of art, and I was meant to go to the University of Macerata in the Marche. And it was a funny story. I went to see an exhibition of an artist that I know, and I walked into the gallery and I looked around, and then the director was there. And I was talking to the director, and she asked me for a cigarette. And I said, "I'll give you a cigarette if you give me a job." She looked at me like I was crazy. And then she was like, "Give me a cigarette and come back tomorrow." So I came back the next day, and the boss of the gallery was there. And the director was like, "This is the kid I was telling you about." And he was like, "Oh, great. You're just in time." He said, "See these boxes? Move these boxes to the back." And that's how I got my first job in the art world. And it was a great experience. I called up my university and they gave me a full year's credit
Really?
to work in this gallery. And it was one of the best galleries in Italy. And I was really able to.
What was the gallery called?
It's called Galleria Lorcan O'Neill. And Lorcan's a great art dealer and he used to live in London. And then he decided to open a gallery in Rome. So he really invited some of the most famous artists to work with him. But he was one of the best bosses I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, he just taught me everything.
It was very open.
He really wanted to help me and gave me a great foundation for life.
This is after how long you were based in Italy then?
So this is like when I arrived.
Oh, like straight in?
Second day.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta tell you something. People, Italians struggle find a job.
Yeah.
In general, they struggle to find a job. You find a job in 2 days.
Yeah.
This is a record.
Well, I was very lucky. Like
You're very lucky.
I spoke Italian. I was learning Italian, spoke English, and wanted to study art, and I was enthusiastic in what they were doing. So it's just like I walked in at the right time.
What's the most exciting thing that you find in art?
Well, just working with the artists, because I studied a history of art at university and at high school, but you're always reading about what happened in the past. Whereas when you work with artists now, you're really working with art history, but for the future. So it's a great privilege to work with artists. And I worked as an assistant with some famous artists, and they just teach you so much about like seeing how you see the world. And,
that's what I was about to ask. How was it like working for an artist? Like, does it open up your mind?
Totally.
Do you feel like?
Yeah. They're constantly full of observations and creating these like sensitivities of even like the smallest detail of what really counts and how something should be. Let's say even just like if you're going to photograph an artwork, like how it should be lit and what you're taking into consideration. And I think that was a great lesson for me to start with. And then afterwards, when I progressed in my career working in other galleries, it was more about selling the art, but having the knowledge of how the art was made, or actually working with the artist was like an invaluable lesson.
But still, there's a value for prints, for piece of art, right?
Yeah.
This is the little part for the, the money lovers. What's the best piece you've ever seen, or what was the worth of it, and if you sold it?
Well, I've seen all the great masterpieces, and I've sold some very expensive works of art. But yeah, it's also.
Is the silent auctions?
Yeah.
Is it called silent auction?
Well, just the auctions.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, work can go to auction and be sold, or it can be sold through the gallery.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two ways. But yeah, we used to buy at auction often and then resell the works later on.
What was the part that you were dealing with? Was like art from every age and era?
No, it's just contemporary art.
Contemporary art.
Yeah,
mainly
for artists from all around the world, even Italian artists.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you mention anyone?
Well, an Italian artist that I really love is Luigi Ghirri, who's a photographer. He passed away in 1992, and I helped bring his work to a wider audience in the States. So it was like I felt like it was a great way of bringing my love of Italy and highlighting someone, because he was a photographer and he photographed the landscape of Italy and the everyday. So it was,
wow.
Yeah.
And what's your now goal for your company, coming back to what you do now?
Yeah. Well, just to keep growing the company and bringing in new products. So, I mean, we've been very lucky. I keep being surprised by how far we've come and where we've been able to go. And I feel like now I have all the framework and understanding of like how to launch new products and bring more things to market. So we've got some new products coming, all top secret, but under development. We're working on one today, and it's it's gonna be a game changer. I think.
To whisper it, man. Whisper into my really game changer.
Yeah.
So to remind people, when you started this project, how many people were working at this, and now how big have you scaled from a time?
I try and keep it as small, but we've got a really good team working with us. So it's just one person starting it, and now we have about 5 people working with us, and then we have warehouses that we work with in the UK, in the Netherlands, and in the US. So we have all the nice people that work in the warehouses also are in contact with us the whole time. So it's a lot of we've got a really good team now, but we've got like the foundation to like take it even further, because as time goes by, team gets more experienced and we get more experience, and just figuring out how to do things better.
Also, the question, is also like, you start a business, right? And you try with a vision to imagine what's your business end, if there's an end. It's like tomorrow, in 5 years, in 10 years.
It's exit.
But not even, the exit is also pretty choosy, but the idea is like, I want to have my idea, let's say my business, I want to have 10 barbershops in London, or like, in Europe, whatever. Yeah. Have you managed to balance your growing together with your possibilities? You say you have warehouse. How difficult was it to find the right place, the right people?
Yeah. Well, it's not too difficult. I mean, what I'd say is just try and get recommendations from people that do similar things to you, and be like, how do you do it? Where do you do it? And then they'll be like, when someone does a good job, people always want to recommend them, because, so I was lucky to get 3 really good places. The funny story about our UK warehouse, which is called like Inline, which is a great partner to us. I met them because when Brexit happened, suddenly like our EU sales, all of our sales were getting massive taxes on it. So we were selling like a product that was £25, and the clients were just getting charged like £17 just by the courier companies to ship them the stuff. Plus, then they're being charged VAT. So they're being charged like the equivalent of what it was to buy the product just in taxes. And so suddenly like our European market just totally dried up. Like no one in Europe was buying things from the UK. It's still a big problem, and it hasn't really been properly resolved. The government created a huge mess because they didn't really let anyone know what was going to happen until a couple of weeks before it actually went through and happened. But I was interviewed by the BBC, and I went on the radio, and I told my problems with all the Brexit problems, and the owner of the warehouse called me up and was like, look, I've got a solution for you. And it was great. And then we started working with the company. So, if you...
In the way, speaking out, it still works.
Yeah, definitely.
Unbelievable. So this is a warehouse, you said, based in the UK, and they ship all your products in Europe.
Well, they ship our products. Yeah, so our products are manufactured, and then they assemble the products, and then they're like, from there they're shipped to the US or to Europe, and then they also take care of mailing our products throughout the UK. So,
Is it difficult to expand in Asia or in other?
yeah, well, we went to Japan last year, and we've got a great distributor in Japan. It's doing a very good job distributing our products to clients there. Yeah, obviously there's the language, and well, we need to. It's definitely markets that we want to improve. We want to go to Korea this year and get to
Korea?
Yeah, South Korea, because we've got lots of clients that are interested in Korea, but we need to set up some kind of distribution in Korea to move forwards with it.
What's the best and the worst market? Question.
Well, the thing it's very hard is like protecting your IP, your intellectual property, especially in China. Like they really copy us all the time, and we've got a lawyer there that's very good and enforces our protection, but it just takes up so much time and it costs so much money to do, and it's pretty non-stop. So it's like constant battle there. But the best market is the United States by far. Just there are so many people that live there, and there's more of a culture of buying gifts and presents for people, and so our products do very well as gifts and presents.
Now you're gonna be part of the Chelsea Flower Show, but have you had any other events that you were like honored to be part of, or any moment you felt like, wow, that's my plan?
Yeah, well, it was very nice. Like a couple of weeks ago, the king gave a talk to the population. Let's say that again. The king gave an address to the Commonwealth. So he hasn't been very well, but it's his first appearance since he's been off duty, and so he gave a talk from the palace, and so it was him sitting at his desk, and on his desk was one of our Acorn vases sitting there growing, and that was quite a proud moment to see our product there. So I know he loves the environment and especially oak trees, so it was very cool that it ended up with him.
I can imagine how many gifts and
Yeah.
a king could receive.
Yeah. So
Wow,
that was a nice moment.
And is now moment to talk about something that probably could be a bit I don't know, can be weird sometimes to talk about something like this, but how is your conception changed when you were back in London? What's your idea of who now lives in London?
Yeah.
Is it still like everything super fast and nobody nobody cares about you, or you find a bit more of open minded ideas?
Well, yeah. All my friends are artists or thinkers, so they're all very open minded, and I like to go to places like down here at the Cow or the pub or the Royal Exchange, and they're like really places that you can just talk to anyone there, and everyone's very free and open there. I have a nice, I've got my dog here, Coco. So I've had her since.
Coco.
Oh, there she is.
I love you.
She's a very good girl. And so anyway, I take her out to the park twice a day and see all of her friends and talk to lots of people there. So yeah, I feel like London's a very friendly and nice place to be. We have a shop for our company, so I'm in the shop, so get to meet lots of people coming in there, and I also feel like we play a nice part in our community. We work with the schools, giving them vases and teaching them about trees and And then lots of local people are employed working with our company. So,
Oh, that's great.
and the shop is next to my house, so it's really it feels like a nice little community that we have around us.
Whereabouts is the shop?
So our shop's in Shepherd's Bush on Goldhawk Road.
Okay.
So we know all the other shop owners, and we know people from going to the park, and it's just a very nice
How did
community.
The school idea came out? Was it proposed to you, or you thought like?
No, we always the cool thing is like with some of our products, like kids just see them and you just see their eyes like pop. It's just something to do with like the plant and the roots and the seeds, and also we think it's so important, and it's something they can really understand and resonate with. So we started a little program called Vases for Classes. We give the vases for book day. We went to the local nursery school and read them books about trees and brought some plants with us, and I mean it's worked really nicely with it. And then like, lots of the parents have ended up buying the vases to give to have for their children at home as a result of seeing it in the schools. So it's kind of worked out nicely.
It definitely worked.
Wow, thank you for this
Absolutely.
haircut. It's looking good. New man.
New fresh man. Where are you gonna bring Coco today?
Well, she's already been to the park. I think we have to go back to work.
Have you?
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's so lovely.
First day of sunshine. Well, we came here on the bicycle, so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty surprised. This morning was a bit cold, but
Yeah,
we can say it's back to spring now.
who knows?
That's great. Is there anything that you can give, any advice that you can give to people about your, considering your background in your life?
Yeah.
Is there any part of your life that you consider?
Well, I would just say that if you have an idea, try it out and see. Like, I think like nowadays with technology, things are a lot easier than they were in the past. Like if you wanted to sell a product in the past, it'd be a lot more complicated to design it and have it manufactured. Whereas now you can find a manufacturer more easily, and before you'd have to find a shop to sell it, and then have it manufactured, sent to the shop before you'd even get paid. Whereas like now you can, launch a website for £30 a month and just put
16.
16, yeah, exactly.
I can tell you.
Even less.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it's, just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just try something else. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's the idea of this project at the end of the day, is like to try to give people a chance to first of all to learn something new,
yeah.
and also to get the right motivation to start any business
Yeah.
or do anything, that maybe move into London or move to Italy. You know?
Yeah.
You've done it when you were 20, and it was quite a different. How long ago was it?
20 years ago. Yeah.
So literally 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So you were 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2004
Yeah. It was,
in Italy.
yeah.
You've been brave. I'm telling you.
But I don't know. I just feel like, I've seen so many times like making decisions that made that then, especially working with art, kind of things that I was interested in or things that we did that then became like part of the mainstream. Like lots of people liked it after that. So, a crazy story was that when I lived in New York, I lived in Brooklyn in a place called Red Hook. So it was quite far away from like the transport system. So the only way you could get to the house was by riding a bicycle. And my housemates loved bicycles. And one of the housemates, for his birthday, he was like, how's anyone going to come to the house for our birthday? And he was like, okay, we like bicycles, we're going to make a bicycle race. So we're going to race around the house. It's going to be, I think it was like a 20-lap race, and it's going to be fixed gear bikes with no brakes, on the cobble streets around this house. And it was a beautiful part of Brooklyn. It was like the old port. And so we have this race, and 20 people turn up, and there was a race, and actually a woman won it for the first race. And then afterwards we had this great party. And then the next year, we were like cleaning the house, getting ready for the party afterwards. And these kids from Japan turned up, and they had all this like video equipment. And then a reporter from the New York Times came along as well. And we managed to get these prizes from like a bike manufacturer, and then Brooklyn Beer sponsored us. And so by the third year, it was like sponsored by Rockstar Games, the computer company, and then Dave, who started it and was the founder, he ended up taking it to Milan, Barcelona, Berlin, and London, I think, and New York. And they were getting like riders from the Giro d'Italia and the GB squad, and it just became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then there was all the merch that went with it. So like the guys that would like deliver the food when I worked in the art gallery, they would all be wearing like the helmets and the gloves and the t-shirts of the Red Hook Crit, this bike race. And it just became this like, huge thing. And it was just because it was something that he was really passionate about. And I think like when you live in a big city, there are things that you really like, but you'll find out that, there are, if you look for it, there'll be other people that really like those things that you like. And I think it's the same with the world now with the internet. Like, I've got one friend of mine who's a photographer, and he used to take lots of photographs on slide film. And then he moved to New York. He found that there was a place once a month in an old cinema where you could bring your slides, and everyone would look at the slides for 10 minutes. And I guess like, whatever you're into, other people are into. So you can also, think about making a business with that in mind.
You're not alone. You're never alone in ideas. You can find someone who can help you to grow the ideas.
Well, if you're thinking like, I need this, or I want this, or this should be better, like for sure there'll be like thousands of people that are probably thinking the same thing as you, and that's where you should make a business. Yeah,
that's amazing. So again, you didn't rush to do one thing that nobody did. You seek for help first. You seek for information, advice, and then you start your business.
Yeah.
Was any fear of your idea, like to be stolen or something? Because like in Italy, we don't really like try to talk to people. We're very like reserved. You won't talk about business much, because at the end of the day, if you start something, maybe someone is going to copy as fast as possible to get the advantage.
I don't know. I think like, we've been lucky, but also there are like so many unique things that we bring to the business that other people just don't have that sensibility. Like they could copy it on face value, but it wouldn't it wouldn't be the same product, because they don't really understand how the product works, or have the sensibility about nature and art and aesthetics than how we do.
That's amazing. There we go. Perfetto.
Very
do you want
good.
me to use any wax today?
Yeah, a little bit of wax would be great.
Yeah?
Thank you.
And just get rid of the hair. No, I'll finish with you. I'll start with her, yeah?
Yeah, she needs her beard.
Just a bit of...
Coco, say hi to the camera.
Say hi, Coco. So beautiful. You're going to be using a bit of the white pomade.
You made this?
Yeah, we have the Sharper Fast brand, and we've been doing this for 5 years. This is the 5th year that we have our own products. This is a water-based matte pomade. There we go. Nice and easy. Voila.
Perfect.
So let me just style it. Coco. Coco la fortunata. È viziata?
Beh,
Sei viziata tu?
No. È sempre con me.
Sì.
È abbastanza viziata in quel riguardo.
Eccoci qua. Facciamo cadere un po' i capelli.
Perfetto.
Grande.
Grazie.
Senti Coco, devi scendere un attimo.
You in this ground, it's
Here
for
we
the
go.
people who have the fear in the future. Always keep on going, cause you are your future.